Hello and welcome to this video. The first job is to remove I've already removed the passenger seat. It's just a key in the lock. So there's 2 bolts to undo on the rider's seat. 2 10mm bolts. Just remove the bracket. You can lift the seat off. Next job to remove the tank. 2 bolts to remove at the back. So we'll just lift the brackets assembly away, just where the seat slots into that bracket. There's 2 bolts to remove at the front of the tank as well. They're the same size, this Allen headed bolts, I think, the same size as the rear ones. Keeping everything there, keeping all the bolts together so I don't lose anything when I come to reassemble. Working outside today just so I can have some light for the camera. Next job is to turn off the petcock, turn it to off before you remove it, otherwise you can't lift the tank off with this in place. As you can see, it'll just hit the frame rail. Bit tricky to find the very small screw inside. Pull that, it just pulls off. That's somewhere safe. The way I do it, I just lift the front of the tank and put one of those tank stay things. You get these with some bikes with the bike. Next job is to just unclamp the fuel hose. I just spray a little bit of lubricant to help it ease it off. Just ease it off with a screwdriver. So that's that off. You can just lift the tank off now. Tank off. Just disconnecting the battery just as a safety precaution because they're going to be working on carburetors. Next job is to take the top of the airbox lid, take that off. Just undo all the top screws on that. They're all 10mm, I think. Just disconnecting the hose there from the back of the airbox. And there's 3 bolts at the rear of the airbox to take out. 2 more bolts on the inside to take out as well. I think they were slightly longer bolts, so put them in the separate compartment. Just disconnecting these clamps. They're on the part of the ram air system, isn't it? It's just bolted onto there, so just gonna slack on these clamps off now. They're like spring loaded, and so get them nice and loose. Just freeing them off a little bit with the flat-headed screwdriver. Make sure I can turn them. Just making sure they're loose on the hose. Do the other side as well, same procedure. Should be able to just lift this off now. Just lift it and pull it forward, or pull it back, I should say. That's the airbox off. I think this just a case of undoing all the connections to the carburetors now. This is just the I think this is the throttle position sensor. It's on pretty tight, so ended up using a pair of needle nose pliers just to hold the little tab down, just to pull it apart. Got to be careful with that. Damage it easily, the wires to it. Disconnecting another hose here. Another fuel hose to remove here. This one's connected to the fuel filter, which is connected to the fuel pump. So this is where the fuel goes into the carburetors. Next job is to loosen off the clamps on the intake stubs. I find the easiest, the only thing that I can fit in is a small Allen key. They're easy enough to loosen off I just use the ball end of an Allen key to get in. Just to loosen the clamps off, so you can lift the carburetors off. The other side is the opposite angle to get to them. Just getting to the inside one now. Easiest ways now is to just put a flat-headed screwdriver with a rag over it. You can just put a lead ridge. You can just lift one side. Just free them off at one side, and you can lift them off. The throttle cables are too tight, so I've got to disconnect them. Just spraying a little bit of lubricant on these bolts that hold the bracket on the handlebars. Make sure I find a Phillips head that fits exactly, because these can round off very easily if you're not careful. Just making sure I've got one that's in an exact fit. Usually I'm very tight as well. Got a problem here, the brake lever's in the way to get to the other one. I don't want to try and get to it at an awkward angle, because it just round off the bolt. So I'll have to slacken the brake lever off and just move it out the way. So I can get access to it now. Once you've got those bolts out, you can just press that rubber sleeve down, and you can take these two brackets off. That exposes the cables then, so you can unhook them. Just plug in these intakes with some rags. Make sure nothing can get down, because there's nothing to stop it going straight into the engine if anything gets down there. These are just the carburetor heater hoses now. I've got to disconnect. These are always on tight as well. But the lubricant helps just to ease them off. Use a flat-headed screwdriver as well, just to gently lever them off. The handbook says you should drain the coolant, but I never bother. Just take them off and plug them with a small screw. Just trying to find one the right size. Not much coolant comes out actually. Do the same on the other side. Just put the clamp on the end, just to help seal it a little bit better, like that. Just a case of disconnecting the two throttle cables and the choke cable now. That hose just pulls out the back. That's just got to disconnect the idle speed adjustment. Just unhook that from the bottom and you can pull it through. Just disconnect the choke cable now. Just pull it out of that bracket and it's easy enough. Just the two throttle cables to unhook now. Might have to fiddle around with these a bit to get them out. Is that one done? Found it easier to go to the other side to get the other one out. That's it then, the carbs are off. That's the end of this video for now. Thanks for watching.